Hi everyone, and welcome to VLGA Connect and the weekly newsroom segment with the CEO of the VLGA, Kathryn Arndt. Hi Kathryn.
Good morning, Chris. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Look, not too bad, although a little disturbed watching the news this morning with some of the stats coming out of the States. I think I heard that they've got 4 million cases confirmed of COVID, and 1 million of those were diagnosed in the last 15 days, I think I heard. So that's an incredible statistic. And then I was looking at some social media sites this morning in Australia, and I noted, I guess from my perspective, you can't help but feel for the community who are perhaps getting confused messaging from different areas of our own political system. And I just really think we all have to just follow the advice of the Chief Health Officer, wear our masks. It's not the time for trying to apportion blame. And really the priority should be to make sure that our communities are getting clear and consistent messaging.
Absolutely, well said. So from around the VLGAs work across the sector this week, what have been the highlights for you?
Look, we've had another busy week, of course, as we say every Friday. We've had a fantastic live forum, which we did in partnership with the Scanlon Foundation, and that was targeted predominantly at multicultural people from COLD backgrounds, particularly young people, but looking at ways in which they can learn more about the local government sector and the communities that they are in from I guess, a participatory perspective. So how could they involve themselves not only as a voter in local government elections, but also perhaps standing as candidates in the elections, or even putting their hand up to be involved in some of the many advisory groups that councils host. So that was terrific. I think we had over 75 people in the room. And that will be available up on our website very shortly. There were some interesting stories shared by participants, particularly those who live in the housing towers in Melbourne, and they shared some of their experiences of that. So well worth watching, and we certainly hope to do a little bit more work in that space, and also with young people, because as we know, getting their input into our elected representative levels of government is really important.
Absolutely, and I support what you say about getting people to think about how they can be more actively involved in their community, even if they decide that running for office is not for them. There are ways that you can build your knowledge and your connections in the community and be more involved and influence decision-making processes by participating in consultation and engagement activities, etc. And if we have our young people thinking and doing that, we're perhaps building the leaders of tomorrow from an earlier time.
Absolutely, Chris. And we know that voter participation in local government elections is the lowest of any level of government. So here's a real opportunity just to make sure you're enrolled to vote and cast a vote, and do it in an informed way.
Yes, yes. Now, I want to share a little inside tip here, Kathryn. We are so close to having the number of subscribers that you need on a YouTube channel to be able to have a bespoke URL.
So how many more do you think we need, Chris?
Well, as of right now, recording this, I think it's about 3. So we just need 3 people to go and click the subscribe button on the YouTube channel for the VLGA.
Fantastic. Well, that's a call for arms if I haven't heard one, although I don't want to use military language, but yes, get your family, your children to sign up if you can.
Yes, I think you mean a call to action.
Yes. Yes, anyway. Okay.
But there's some terrific interviews there. I'm so proud of the one we did this week with Ro Allen, the Commissioner for Gender and Sexuality, on the LGBTIQ strategy work that's happening at the moment. And to be honest, I've been blown away with the response to that interview, but she's a very engaging speaker.
Absolutely, she is, Chris. And I believe we're also going to be talking to Minister Foley on that same strategy in coming weeks, which will be another interview worth watching. Of course, Ro also mentioned the VLGA's Rainbow resource, which we did finalise and distribute early this year, and with support from the Commissioner's Office. So we do thank her and acknowledge her for that.
You've let one cat out of the bag there. Yes, we've locked in an interview with Minister Foley, and we'll probably cover some arts-related issues in that as well. But really pleased with the people that are coming forward wanting to be part of the program. The Lord Mayor of Melbourne, Sally Catt, is also locked in. The Emergency Management Commissioner, Andrew Crisp, will be speaking with us next week, and the new Local Government Minister, Sean Lean, is going to be a guest on the program as well. So really pleased to have people of that calibre speaking with us.
Yes, I think that the VLGA Connect platform has certainly been recognised as a platform that's keeping the sector up to date. And I think we mentioned last week that we've got people joining us from interstate as well.
So tell me a bit about the YCCC activities that are coming up as we get closer to this election campaign.
Yes, look, some of our viewers may have seen our communications that have gone out, or even heard the podcasts that we've done already with the YCCC program, Your Country, Community and Council. Charles Packiner is an Aboriginal man who is leading that project for us, and it's really around increasing the understanding of Aboriginal Victorians about the role of local government, how they can increase their participation, as we've just talked about earlier, but also consider standing as candidates in the election. So we have 3 live forums coming up, which are well worth noting. We have one on the 5th of August, where Charles will be talking with our own governance guru, Steve Cooper, just about some of the basics of local government. On the 12th of August, Charles will be joined by Shani Wellington, who is a political correspondent with NITV. So that'll be well worth watching also. And finally, on the 19th of August, Charles will be talking with Georgia from the VEC. So very informative live panel discussions coming up. For more information about those, please check out the VLGA's website.
An update on the mandatory training. I know we talk about this on all of our programs, but it's really important to get the message out there that prospective candidates need to complete it, and it's going to be available very soon.
It will be available, we believe, from the week commencing Monday, the 3rd of August. So as we've talked about, and I'm sure Steve's covered that off in his governance update also, this is an online e-learning module that will be hosted by Local Government Victoria. So anyone who is going to nominate as a candidate in the local government elections in October must complete this training before they lodge their nomination. So again, keep an eye out for more information about that on our website.
Very important new requirement of the Act, of course. We do talk about it in the candidate information sessions that the VLGA is running across the state for a whole range of councils. There's probably been at least one person in every session that's believed that that's the mandatory training. So it's really important to get the message across that it's an opportunity to understand the issues and to ask questions, etc., but it's not the prescribed training.
That's right, Chris, and we've made that very clear in our advertising. The VLGA's candidate information sessions are an interactive format, enables participants to ask questions of the facilitators. They are not the mandatory training, but a lot of people, as you've said, are of course doing the VLGA session, and will also of course have to do the mandatory session because it gives them a deeper understanding of their, I guess, potential role as a councillor. So
these VLGA workshops are all, of course, being delivered virtually at the moment. And this week we're heading off to Yarra, Knox, Darebin, Greater Shepparton, Manningham, Hepburn, Strathbogie and Brimbank. So we're really covering a wide swathe of the state, aren't we?
I think we must have covered just about every part of Victoria with these sessions. And it's just terrific to see the interest out there, because to me it demonstrates a commitment from those people who are seriously considering to run as a candidate. And as you would appreciate, elected representatives have just as much responsibility to understand, you know, what their role is and how to fulfil their duties.
And it's been pleasing to see quite a number of sitting councillors joining in on those sessions, and some of the dialogue has been great because they've been able to provide some context as well. And I've always said I think it's a fundamental part of a councillor's role to help encourage and build up the next generation of councillors, and it's terrific to see some of them actively doing that through these sessions.
Yeah, look, that's again, you know, a principle of good governance, isn't it? To have that, I guess, diversity, that changeover every couple of terms at least, rather than anyone sitting in a role indefinitely or for a long period of time. It's about encouraging new thinking and diversity, as I said.
Any final thoughts, Kathryn, before we wrap it up for another week?
Oh, look, just keep an eye out on all of the sessions that we've got coming up. A lot of information going out there to the sector at the moment, and I can appreciate that it's probably a little confusing at times, but we, of course, at the VLGA are available to clarify any of those matters that you might have. We've got Steve on tap as our governance guru, and we're certainly doing a lot through our social media sites as well.
Thanks, Kathryn. Have a great weekend. Stay safe in lockdown version 2, and I look forward to talking to you next week in the newsroom again.
See you then, Chris.
Kathryn Arndt, the CEO of the VLGA, joining us as she does each week on our newsroom segment here on VLGA Connect.